Hi my lovelies, welcome back to my channel, and for everybody who's new, I'm Leorah and I'm so glad you found me. So welcome to today's video, which is my review of the Vampyrism palette from Jolie Beauty. This is her Halloween / fall release, and as you probably know if you're not new here, I have already reviewed two more of her palettes, which was the Intergalactic palette, which was the first one in that format, and then also the Sorceress palette, which was last year's fall release, which was also in this format, and all of them I have loved. And now I got this one, and this one has been gifted to me by one of my besties, and this is how the palette looks. Now this is a palette that is my size, you know what I mean? This is the size of my soul. This is a beautiful color scheme for fall. Of course, a very nice and mature execution of a fall themed palette. You do have a really nice selection here with a super nice area here also, you know, but we'll speak about that in the review part. Now if you've just found me and you don't know what I'm doing here, I'm Leorah. I'm a makeup artist and stylist. I love makeup. That's why I'm hugging my palettes. I love makeup. I love colorful styling and colorful makeup, and that is what I'm doing here. So if you're up for that and if you're interested in that, then of course feel free to check out my channel and also my social media, which is linked in the description box down below, so you can see what I'm all about. And then by all means subscribe to my channel, because I would absolutely love to have you here. It would be thrilling. So, sweeties, now of course, talking about the review, we are going to go of course into the creation of this look. I also definitely want to talk to you about something super cool, which I hope will be interesting to you. I also have to say that while I was filming this, I was in a very silly mood. So yeah, anyway, it should be fun. I hope so, at least. And after that, you'll see the swatches of this palette, which I hopefully will be able to put on my arm because it's a big palette. And of course, two more looks that I have previously done already with this palette. So this is my third look. And after that, we will meet here again, of course, for the review part. So with all of that being said, let's jump right into the video. Okay, sweeties, hi, here we are. Filming with this one. This is of course, as you know, going to be my third look with the Vampyrism palette, and I am excited. And I'm excited to also speak to you about something that actually someone of you kind of requested, and that is Cheryl. We have been chatting on Instagram a little bit, and I asked her, what do you think I should talk about, you know, during my videos? And by the way, if you have topics that you want me to talk about, put it in the comments or contact me on Instagram by DM, please. And yeah, and let me know, okay, and then I'll consider it. Okay, so today we are going to talk about getting married. Okay, so first of all, of course, let's start working, and I definitely want to go into this a little bit and then spice it up somehow. I don't know yet, okay, but let's start with this shade right here, which is a gray, but it kind of is a taupey gray, and that is so cool. Okay, it's Abomination. It's an abomination. Okay, so let's do that. All right, and wait, I am using the eyeshadow primer from Jybel MUA, which I have recently received in PR, and it is so nice. I think if you probably enjoy the P. Louise base, you would enjoy this one too. Okay, so anyway, let's just put this in and let's see what happens. Okay, also of course, as I told you, just adjusting my mirror, we're going to talk about getting married. So I want to talk basically also about wedding makeup, because I want to make it a little bit not relatable. That is wrong. That's the wrong word. What's the right word? Related to makeup also? I don't know how to say it. So but anyway, that is though very easy to talk about, because basically the standard overall wedding makeup in Israel is oh so boring, sweeties. Like for me it is like wow, this hurts. It hurts. Okay, so it is basically a black eyeliner and super red lips. That is it, you know. Beyond that, it is very minimalist makeup, which is for me, it's like, wow, why waste the time? But I'm not saying that it looks bad. Not saying that it looks bad, but it is kind of, for me, it's usually underwhelming, because it's like everybody looks the same, you know, and that is how I feel. There are also some people who go for a makeup look that is like country girl without makeup at all, basically just I don't know, maybe some mascara if you're lucky. you know, but that is then the very, very natural type of bride, I guess, and that is what it is, you know. But anyway, so wedding makeup is absolutely not interesting for me at all. The general makeup, event makeup, is not interesting for me at all. That's why I am not a very popular makeup artist. Because people are not ready for me, sweeties. They are not. So yeah, they'll learn maybe, and if not, then I'm just gonna be lonely, you know. There are not a lot of people like me. I personally, here in my real life, I don't know anyone. So if you live here in Israel and you are like me, then reach out. Maybe, you know, that would be so cool. I mean, I have actually spoken or written with a few of you, maybe two people in Israel who are also, you know, ordering indie makeup. So I would assume that they are then also using it, duh. But anyway, like really from seeing anyone wearing makeup, colorful, bold, anything, no, I don't think so. At least not in the circles where I am, you know. Maybe in like cities like Tel Aviv it might be different, but I don't know, because I'm almost never there. Really, I have no reason to be there because I'm in Jerusalem. So anyway, that is basically covering the topic of wedding makeup. It is yeah, it's not it for me. And also, of course, when I got married, I had very, very traditional makeup, you know, because that is what is being done, and that is fine. It's just that if I were to get married again or something, then I would be different. I would absolutely be different, you know. Yeah, would I do a black smoky eye? Probably not, but something that is more me, definitely, you know. So anyway, now getting married in Israel or in Judaism can mean a lot of things, because as in every religion, there are different levels of observance, different directions, kinda, you know. So we are modern Orthodox, which means that we are observing all the laws, but the laws we're observing all the laws. Oh wow. But we are not ultra-Orthodox. We're not like extremely strict, okay? We're doing it, but with a modern touch, something like that, okay? So in my case, for example, we got married, we were actually dating for a year, my husband and I. He was my boss. You know? Yeah, so I was kind of working as his secretary. This is how we more or less met. And yeah, telenovela. Anyway, so we were dating for about a year, and that was cool. I should also say that my husband is 21 years older than I am, so I don't know if that explains anything. I don't know. Yeah, so but there was that, and at some point he took me to the beach in Tel Aviv. That was the one occasion that I have been in Tel Aviv. Just kidding. I'm a very silly person this morning. But anyway, so he took me to the beach after we had been to a restaurant, and we were sitting there and we were talking, and yeah, and then he proposed to me on the beach, and that was really, really nice. And the first person we told that we are now officially engaged was actually a security guard. That was so fun. I just needed to tell someone, and he was like, okay, congratulations. Like, I don't care, but okay. So yeah, that was really, really funny. But at least, well, for me, and you're probably, oh, Leorah. So yeah, anyway, I'm just going to blend this out a little bit with a bone color matte here. And actually, funny thing, when my husband proposed to me, I was like, what if he changes his mind? What? Because, you know, I was like madly in love with him, of course. And I was like, if he changes his mind, if tomorrow comes, you know, and he's like suddenly, this never happened, you know, you just imagined this, I'm not going to survive this, you know that I'm a very dramatic person, right? So anyway, I told him after I had said yes, and the first excitement of the moment was over, I said, now you find something to write this down. I want this in writing. I kid you not, I did that. I still have that piece of paper. So he had still, from the restaurant, he had a little toothpick that was like wrapped in a little bit of a paper thingy. So he took that out, unwrapped it, like, or unfolded it, or whatever, however you say that, and he wrote down, "Will you marry me?" And I carried that little piece of paper around with me for probably 10 years in my wallet, and now it's actually glued to the inside of my kitchen cabinet. You know, because it's kind of started to deteriorate in my wallet. So that's why I just wanted to have it somewhere where I can see it. So I remember that I wanted this. Anyway, I'm just having fun here, okay? So anyway, that was basically the proposal. We came home so late because of course we had to drive back home to Jerusalem, and then next morning I had to go to work, and I was working actually on a translation of something, and I was staring at the screen and I was pretending to work seriously because I had no mind space and I was so tired. I had slept maybe 2 hours or so. Yeah, so that was great. Okay, that was on the 1st of July, and we actually got married in the same year on December 14th, which was the last night of Hanukkah in that year. And that is a very normal thing to happen. Like, if you're not used to this, then you probably think, wow, this went so fast. Why did you get married so fast? You know, stay engaged for a year and then, like, whatever, plan your wedding for another year, and who knows, you know, maybe something better might come along, you know. Yeah, but that's not how it's done. And actually being engaged for 5 months is actually quite a long time, honestly, you know, especially in like the more religious and the more religious observant or ultra-orthodox or whatever the couple is, or that the families are, the faster you get married. Some of them go to like 4 dates or something like this, and then it's basically, okay, seal the deal, you know. There are benefits to that too. For me, that is a little bit scary because I definitely want to be in love with a person and know a person, and it worked out well for me to know my husband. Just saying. But anyway, so there are different styles and different traditions and whatever, like in every religion, okay? Now, let us put on some black because we definitely need some depth in this look. So that is the shade Shadows, which is this one right here. And let's do this, okay. I'm so silly today. Oh, I love it. Okay, so basically we started to plan the wedding, and because my husband is so much older, it was not like, you know, the parents prepare the wedding. My parents were in Germany, and his parents are of course significantly older, so that's why it was not in the cards that someone prepares the wedding. We did it, okay? So that was that. We tried to find a location and tried to settle on the flowers and all of these things. So that's basically it. So this is a normal wedding preparation, just in super high speed. Okay, because of course immediately after he proposed to me, I had to start finding a dress, but fast, you know, so you can go to the fittings and everything. And yeah, so that was seriously a lot, because we were also both working full-time, and he was also traveling for work 2 more times in those 5 months, I think. And we were also preparing our future home, you know. We had an apartment that had to be renovated, which I did after work. I drove there by bus because I didn't have a car. I drove there by bus, worked there after finishing at work at 5 p.m. or something. I worked there, and then I drove back home to the 1-room apartment that I was living in at that point. So yeah, that was very like, we were really exhausted by the time we got married, which is like, that's not helping. But yeah, anyway, so we prepared the wedding, and that was super nice. My family flew in, and well, his family was here because they are here, and that was that. And then I think to talk about the whole wedding is probably a little bit like that would take it too far, but basically what happens in a Jewish wedding is that the husband or the bride and the groom are separate. The woman sits on kind of a throne, and she is the one who receives receives the guests and greets the guests, and the future husband is in a room separately. Not really for modesty reasons, I don't think. It's because, first of all, our weddings are of course in the evening or towards the evening, so usually the men are praying the afternoon prayer there together, and then is the signing of a religious marriage contract, which is called ketubah. And this is what they do, and once they have done that, then basically the men are accompanying the groom to the bride, and then he's doing the bedecken, which means the covering, which is putting the veil putting a veil on me. No, putting the veil over the face of the bride, and that has also a tradition because of some biblical stories. I'm not going to get into this, where basically someone married a woman that was already veiled, and it turned out that it was the wrong woman. You know, it was the sister of the one that he wanted to marry. So it doesn't matter. Anyway, that's why the husband has to, or the groom has to basically cover up his future wife by himself, make sure that is his chosen one, you know. Okay, then after he did that, I actually took off all my jewelry, because that is our tradition, that the bride is under the chuppah, which is the wedding canopy, without any additional jewelry. You are your own jewelry, you know. And you're being led. I was led then to the wedding canopy, where my husband or future husband was already waiting. I should be working also, maybe. Okay, let's do that. What a concept. Okay, do I want to have color? I kind of don't feel like it, you know. But anyway, let's do this one, and then maybe do some color also. So he was waiting there already. He had been led there by his parents, and then once he was standing there, I was being led towards the wedding canopy. And then you basically circle around your husband or your groom, you know, you circle around him, which basically means like you sounds like you're a satellite or something, but you're basically walking around him in circles a couple of times. I'm not sure if there are different traditions too. Is it 7 times? Usually it's, I think, 7 times for us. I don't know if there are other traditions too. So don't ask me exactly what happened in that moment. I had told the officiating rabbi to just like do like this to stop me, because I told him I will not be able to count in that moment. You know, I will not be able to. Plus, I had a very, very long veil going towards the back, and while I was walking around him, my veil wrapped around his legs, which was really hilarious. So yeah, I even have that on the video that we did back then, how I was like, I realized what was happening, and then I looked up to that officiating rabbi, and my look was like, help. It's so funny. Like when you look back now, it's funny. Of course, I wanted it to be perfect, and then I felt like, well, this is not going well. Okay, sanguis. Let's use this one here, sanguis. I'm just going to use my fingers, so I save myself washing an extra brush. And I'm just going to put this here. Okay, so anyway, and then once you're done circling, which basically means that you're going to surround your husband, you're going to be the home for him, and you're surrounding your chosen one, basically. And then was the ceremony, which is too much to get into, but then afterwards, basically, once all of the ceremony is done, then you break a glass, which is for remembering basically the destruction of the Jewish temple, because it is kind of a Jewish tradition to always also remember something bad that has happened in our history, even in moments of joy. Okay, so that is just something that we do so we don't forget where we come from, because it's very, very important, I do believe, to never forget where you came from, because only that can give you a direction for where you're going, you know? So anyway, wow, this has been a long video already. All right, sweeties, are you still watching? Yeah, so that is basically it. And after that, the groom or the husband and wife, because by then you're husband and wife, of course, go to the yichud. Yichud is basically a room where you are officially for the first time completely alone. And because groom and bride are fasting on the wedding day up until after the ceremony, in the yichud room, this is where you basically share your first meal together. And there were two rabbis who were basically officiating, and both of them accompanied us to the room, and we went in there and we ate together and whatever. Just eating. And then we actually have pictures that the photographer took of those two rabbis waiting some minutes outside, because that is basically what is done. So they make sure that, you know, the couple is a couple, you know what I mean? So that's, yeah. Okay, so is that strange for you guys? I can't help it. That's how we do it. Yeah, and then after, basically while the couple is in the yichud room, the rest of the wedding party starts basically eating the first course. And then after the first course, the couple basically, we also did take pictures then, and then we came back and then we started the first round of dancing, and yeah, so that was that, you know. We also had separate dancing, I have to say, maybe quickly, and that is because we are Orthodox, so we do separate dancing, but for some dances I snuck over to my husband. Yeah, so anyway, but it was so much fun, and it was also not a very big wedding, because my husband's family is not very big, and he also didn't grow up in Israel, so he doesn't have, because he's American, so he doesn't have a lot of friends here. Friends, yeah, but like he didn't go to school here and has all these contacts that he would have to invite. So it was a small wedding. We only had, I think, 125 people, which is very small, because usually like normal, whatever is normal, weddings are like 500 people, something like this. But because it was so small, it was kind of really special, you know. It was, well, anyway, for us. So yeah, now of course I'm going to show you the swatches, I'm going to show you the other two looks that I have done, and then we'll meet here again with the finished look and of course the review part of this palette. Okay, sweeties, here we are, of course, with the finished look and the finished styling. You have seen me create this look. You saw the other two looks. You saw the swatches that I have already taken off. But if you want to see it in a still picture, then please go to my Leorah Cosmetics Instagram. It should already be live there. Okay, sweeties, it was actually really easy to swatch this palette. I mean, it's a lot of shades, but seriously, it wasn't that hard. I'm surprised how much I get on my little arm. Okay, also I should say, because I only noticed that after I had filmed the intro, that I had a little bit of glitter here, and that it was not really because I had like a crazy amount of fallout or something from the glitter liner that I obviously created. It's just that right before I started to film the introduction or the intro, I actually tried something on my eyes and that backfired. So in any case, I'm going to talk to you about that in just a second. Okay, let me just get the palette and show it to you with the sleeve and with everything. Okay, so this is how it comes. The sleeve is exactly like the palette. The back and the front are of course the same, and of course here we have the palette. It's cardboard packaging. You do have a big mirror. You do have of course also shade names that are on theme for the palette. Now it says here something on the palette. Let's see. The vampire is the most mysterious and elusive of creatures, seducing their victims into deadly embrace. Sounds like my wedding night. Okay, with our Vampyrism palette, it is time to unleash your inner predator. That again sounds like my wedding night. I'm in a very good mood, sweeties. Okay, it's time to slay. This is not my wedding night, or perhaps not. A mixture of delectable true reds, deep purples, and regal golds, plus our infamous transforming chameleon shades, make this palette as unique as the creature whom wears it. And then it continues on here. Caution may make wearer irresistible to their victims. You judge. am I? Okay, sweeties, I have spoken about that topic before that I'm going to touch on now. Of course, vampires, sorcerers, witches, all of that is not part of what I'm living. But anyway, I enjoy good makeup. I especially enjoy fall themed releases, which usually have some kind of creepy theme. I can totally live without that, but I am not, like, I'm not endorsing anything. I'm not judging this. Like, I don't care. Okay, I don't care. So that is that. For me, it's makeup. All right, so let's just leave it at that, because I know that people probably might think that, well, this girl is religious. Why is she reviewing this palette? You know, because it's good makeup. Okay, sweeties, that was that, and I had so much fun with this palette. Now let's of course zoom you in. Let's show you how I finished the look. So this is of course a little bit like, it's almost gentle, you know, deceivingly gentle. All right, so this is how it turned out. Of course, you see that I also did the glitter liner. I'm also going to show you which glitter I used. In this look here, I mixed the glitter together with a Duraline from Inglot, and that actually did not work so well. And that's what I was trying to fix, kind of, before I started filming the intro, because I was actually going to try to just dab the pressed glitter over the liner pure, without having it mixed with Inglot. Usually, my liners that I do with Inglot work well. Here in this case, it kind of separated a little bit, and maybe you saw it also. It's not like super serious, because I also do have a black liner, a regular black gel liner underneath. But it happens sometimes, you know, because Inglot and different kinds of binders in pressed glitters work different ways, and sometimes it works super well, sometimes it works less well. I should also tell you, in connection to the pressed glitters, that actually in the first look, the super red vibing one that you saw in a picture, that there I had actually a red glitter on. Now, let me just show you. I had this glitter here on my lid, and I used it pure the way it is, without glitter primer or glitter glue or anything. Worked super well. And of course, this one also works super well just in this instance as a liner. It did not perform that well, because I mixed it with Duraline, and sometimes the reaction between the two is not maybe the perfect one. Okay, now you have also seen, of course, in the swatches that we have those amazing chameleon shades, which, for example, this one is one here, and this one is one here, and I also think this one is one here. I don't know, does this one say it like this in English? This one is one here. You sort it out. Okay, then we also have, of course, normal shimmer shades, and then we do have mattes and those two pressed glitters. Now, I have to say that the performance overall was really good. There were maybe two shades that were a little bit like, they felt a little bit drier, and that was this red here and this coffin shade. This one here, and also the black. These three felt for me a little bit drier. Doesn't mean that they don't perform. Also in the swatches you saw, hopefully, that all of them swatched really well and looked really good. So it's just that something that's what I noticed, you know. Okay, besides that, everything felt super smooth, super velvety to the touch, really beautiful. And of course, those chameleon shades are absolutely out of this world stunning. Like, even when you swatch them, this is like the wedding cake, you know, like really so good. Anyway, yeah, so this here is a normal shimmer, and this one is a normal shimmer, and this one, I think. So we do have a couple of normal shimmers here, and yeah, and of course the color scheme, you see how it is, and I think this is beautiful. The combination of the purples and the fuchsia shade also here and the reds is of course magical. That always goes together so well. And then these kind of baby poopy shades here. I have so much fun with this. Also, I think basically my most favorite shade in the palette must be this one, which is actually the shade Vampyrism. It is so gorgeous, and I used that in the first two looks in certain places. It's so pretty. Yeah, and also I just really like these kinds of colors so much. And then of course the cold neutrals is bomb.com. You know? Yeah, so you get so much here in this palette. I love it. I love to have this abundance in a palette. Yeah. Did I have some staining? Yes, in the first look I did have some staining. Not super severe or anything, but of course that was the super red one where I really piled on all the red shades, and there's also like pinky or cold reds or pinky shades I don't know how it comes across here on camera, but like this, you could think it's a cold red. It could also be like a dark pink or something. For example, this one, and yeah, some of those. I don't recall anymore exactly which shades I used in my first look, but some of this left some staining, but it was gone at the next day, on the next day. You know, so that was okay. I did not have any creasing. I had no fading or anything. The blending was fine. Everything was really, really good. So yeah, that is basically my verdict of the palette. And there's no surprise here because I knew that I would love this, you know? Yeah. So shade range is really beautiful. Everything is good. You know, so yeah, that was that. Okay, sweeties, before we finish the video, I should also of course tell you how I finished the look. So in the inner corner I have this white shade, and then I did put on this one, which I also have on the inner part of the lid. I basically dragged it around a little bit to the inner part of here for under my eye, and then I blended it into this one and blended this one out with a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So that is basically what I did, and I do have a turquoise on my waterline, and that's the rest of the look, you know? So yeah, I'm very, very happy. You, of course, please feel free to let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And of course, don't forget to check out my description box because you will find all of my makeup there that I'm wearing today. You will, of course, also see all my links to social media, ways to support my channel, also all my discount codes that I do have with the different brands. And check out my channel if you're new here and you have not done so, then please subscribe because I'm so thrilled that you're here and that you've made it so far and that you've found me. I'm so grateful, and I shall see you here super soon for my next video, and up until then, definitely go ahead and sparkle. Hugs and kisses. Bye.